they sent it back. They didn't know what it is. When Srila Prabhupada got to know it, he became completely furious, because at that time it was a lot of opposition towards ISKCON, towards preaching of ISKCON, because Srila Prabhupada was nothing but revolutionary. He introduced so many things which were not heard before. Like, for example, women, initiation for women. Although in the Mahabharata there is a whole chapter which is entitled Stri Parva. It's a narration about women. But culturally speaking, the situation eroded by that time, so it was, women, just something not very, very good. When Srila Prabhupada decided to give, looking that in the Western society, a woman is just about equal to men. So he decided to give initiation. Oh God, he was criticized by the Smarta Brahmanas. He was just, there were so many unpleasant situations. There was so much opposition to his modern ways, although he was not really modern. He was following in the footsteps of his spiritual master, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He was a sannyasi. At that time, sannyasi was supposed to walk around barefoot, having just a piece of clothes, own nothing, do nothing, kind of. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati was having a car, traveling in the car. Oh, he was criticized for that, and so on and so on and so on. So we can say that Srila Prabhupada was not a revolutionary, but he was a revolutionary. Anyway, he was criticized heavily. And support of this local Maharaja was truly priceless. And then his disciples are sending a present of this Maharaja back. Srila Prabhupada, I don't remember if he went personally or sent somebody just, to make all the possible apologies. But no, Maharaj, he stopped being angry, but ISKCON lost his support from that moment. Because for Kshatriya, that was an offense. He couldn't take it. Because he is Kshatriya, he is proud, he is a ruler, he is a king. You just cannot offend the king. Well, maybe you can, but you won't live too long. So that was a situation. So Duryodhana was laughed upon, mostly by Draupadi. And of course, he got a very bad attitude towards her. So this is a very why I'm telling that it's a very multifaceted story. And materially speaking, well, I shouldn't say there is no right, no wrong, but materially speaking, all our material qualities, they are nil and void, because they are just useless. They will come to the end with the end of this body. Your body, your strength, your intelligence, your mind, your relatives, your beautiful wife, your wonderful children, they all will just disappear for you. They will not. But for you, they will disappear at the time of death. So the only thing of value is Krishna consciousness, is your spiritual status, your spiritual advancement. That's what it is about. Another very interesting aspect which I want to mention before starting with a topic is that actually our acharyas said that the purpose of Bhagavad Gita is to simply glorify Srimati Radharani. But wait a second. where is a word about Srimati Radharani in the whole Bhagavad Gita? It is, but not in Bhagavad Gita. It's an introduction, in a prayer to Srimati Radharani. Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radha Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hare Priya. So, that's the only direct reference, and not in the Bhagavad Gita proper. So there are two places where you can kind of infer the presence of Srimati Radharani, but not directly. In 272, second chapter, 72, I will take it specifically 272. I marked it, but it fell off during the transportation. 272. Yes, here it is. Esha Brahmi Stiti Partha Nainam Prapya Vimuhyati Stitvasyan Antakalepi Brahma Nirvanam Richati. And here is very interesting, is a Brahmi. Srila Prabhupada translated as a spiritual. But it's very interesting, it's unusual. Because Brahma, if you look at the Sanskrit dictionary, Brahma is a neuter word. In Sanskrit there are masculine, feminine, and neuter. In Russian also. So Brahma is neutral. But here, the ending is Brahmi, a female. Very interesting reference. So, spiritual. And and then we have another reference to Srimati Radharani, not directly, but through her energy. It's 9:13. Yes, 9:13. We take a specific verse, 9:13. Here it is. Mahatmanas tumam partha daivim prakritim ashritaha vajanta nanyamanaso gyatva vutadim avyayam. So, here it is. Daivim prakritim is a divine energy. As a Srila Prabhupada translated here, Daivim, divine, Prakritim, nature, divine nature. So that's another reference, because that's Srimati Radharani, that's the divine nature. So one can really wonder how it is. So we speak about only Krishna, his energies, this and that. But Krishna is, as we know, he is unconquerable. With one exception. He is conquered by his devotee. He is conquered by love, by bhakti. And the whole Bhagavad Gita is aiming at that bhakti. So, Krishna speaks all this, this and that and this and that, all the aspects and material and three gunas, and then towards the end he says, but what is the need, O Arjuna, of all this complicated knowledge? With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support the entire universe. What is the need of all this detailed knowledge? So, he speaks for half an hour, longer, and then he just rejects it completely. Why? Because bhakti is a goal. Because knowledge, as I just mentioned, is all good. We should develop knowledge, but you should understand that it is impermanent. What is permanent is bhakti, is a devotional service. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. So this is something you can carry with you through and to the next lifetime. And there you start again. Much better than you have it now. Even if you are a king, you will have it better. And we know that example of great devotees who were also kings. And so on and so on. So Srila Prabhupada doesn't wait towards the end. He starts from the beginning. Chant Hare Krishna. Like it's well-known history of Vyasadeva, who is a literary incarnation of God, who wrote all the Vedas, all the Upanishads, all the Itihasas, but he was not feeling satisfied. And then Narada Muni comes and says, "What's wrong with you?" I don't feel too happy about my work. Although he was, talking Vedas so fast that if you see an image of Sri Ganesh, he has one tusk broken. Why? Because he had to write. So he was writing so fast. Anyway, so then Narada Muni says to Vyasa, but because you never mentioned devotional service. And then Vyasadeva writes Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Purana, the spotless Purana. And then it was he achieved the perfection. So Vedas were not his perfection, but Bhagavad Purana, Srimad Bhagavatam, was. So Srila Prabhupada didn't wait until the end. He, from the very beginning, he gave bhakti is a goal, is a purpose, goal, and substance of everything else. Everything else is subsidiary. Anyhow, but back to the topic. It's all Krishna, as I mentioned in the beginning, he was related to both sides. And imagine if you are a father and say you have two children, boys, and they got in a bitter fight, really serious fight. Are you happy? No, you are not happy at all. Can you do something about it? Of course you can say a word of wisdom. If the children are small, you just part them physically. But if they are big, what can you do? My children are fully grown up. I maybe can tell them what I think about this and that, if they ask for it. But they are completely independent. So Krishna is just like this. He is not encroaching upon our independence. He was not forcing himself on Pandavas and Kauravas, although Krishna did everything, but everything, to stop the war. He even showed his, just like for Arjuna, the other person who saw a universal form was Duryodhana. Because Krishna was showing to Duryodhana, his universal form, just like to Arjuna. But Duryodhana thought it just some cheap magic. He didn't react. He didn't understand who actually Krishna is. Otherwise, he wouldn't be, the whole situation wouldn't come. Of course, we wouldn't have Bhagavad Gita then, but we have it. So, there are so many instances. Finally, Krishna, the God himself, accepted, yes, they have their independence, they want to manifest it in this particular way. Okay, be it. But he tried until the end. So, because they were closely related to Krishna, both sides, Pandavas and Kauravas. Krishna was taking a rest once. And there is a chapter in Mahabharata which is so wonderful that actually I printed it, and I want to read a piece of it. It's called Senod Yoga Parva. Is a piece of it. Krishna was taking a rest, and then Pandavas and Kauravas, they wanted to meet with him and get his support. So Duryodhana came first, and he was thinking, oh, I should come before Arjuna. So he did it. He came very tacitly, very quietly. He came, and he sat by Krishna's head, because he was thinking, oh, the head is most important. So he was sitting there. And then Arjuna came, and he sat by the lotus feet of the Lord. So then Krishna wakes up, and he sees Arjuna first. Anyway, now I read this particular piece of Mahabharata for you. I will just read the translation. Vashampayana said, he, Drupada priest, having gone towards the city called after the elephant, Hastinapura, you know, the Pandavas sent in messengers to the rulers of several parts. Having sent messengers elsewhere, the best among men, Dhananjaya, the son of Kunti, of race Kuru himself, went to Dwaraka. That's where it happens. The sons of Madhu, Krishna and Balaram, in company with Vrishni race, and Andaka and Bodja, by hundreds, having gone to Dvaravati. That's a city. The son of Dhritarashtra, himself a king, by sending scouts, privately came to know all that has been done by the Pandavas. Having heard that Madhava, Krishna, was on his way, he set out for the city of Dwaraka with a retinue, not large and good horses which could have been compared to the wind. That very day had Dhananjaya, the son of Kunti, of the race of Pandu, arrived at the beautiful city of the Anarthas. The two sons of Kuru, and here is again, Arjuna is referred to Kuru because technically speaking, he was also a Kaurava. We divide them by Pandavas and Kauravas, but technically speaking, and in Bhagavad Gita is also Arjuna, at least in one place, maybe in two, is referred to Kuru, son of dynasty of Kuru. The two sons of Kuru, and it's interesting, foremost among the men, having reached Dwaraka, saw Krishna asleep and went near him as he lay. And as Govinda lay, Suyodhana, it's Duryodhana, Suyodhana is a nickname, also a great fighter, entered and sat him down on the floor which he used as a seat near the head of Krishna. Then did enter the large-minded one, wearing a crown, and stood with the hands clasped near the foot of Krishna. The son of Vrishni, Krishna, having awaked, first saw the one wearing a crown and welcomed them and did them due honors. So, you see, he wakes up, and of course, because you are sleeping, your head is towards your feet. So he saw Arjuna. The son of Madhu asked the cause of their coming, and Duryodhana said, as if in jest, "It is befitting that you should lend me your help in this war, for your friendship with myself and that with Arjuna are equal." So he is referring very nicely to the fact that they are related, closely, intimately related. And then, jumping aside, the Balaram, he was a great admirer of Duryodhana. So, and when all this situation of war came upon, finally manifested itself, Lord Balaram couldn't stand it. He left the place and went on a pilgrimage. He was not present there because Duryodhana was so close and dear to him. So, but we continue. Duryodhana. And, O slayer of Madhu, our relations with you are the same. And this day I have come first to you. So he mentions that. He's been first. From the time of our ancestors, good men have befriended him who has been the first to come. And you, or Janardana, Krishna, are the best person in this world. Therefore, act after this good example, which has always been followed. So you see, he is very smart. Of course, Kshatriyas are very intelligent. They are just like Brahmanas, but they are not Brahmanas. They are Kshatriyas, but they are super intelligent. Because you cannot rule a kingdom without intelligence, without brain. So, see how he is trying to manipulate Krishna. Force him. Yeah, give me your support now. Very, very sharp. And he kind of pushes him forward. It's a historical example. You should follow it. Shri Krishna said, I have not the slightest doubt that you came here first, but Dhananjaya, the son of Pritha, have been, O king, first seen by me. So, Krishna is counteracting Duryodhana's logic. O Suyodhana, nickname of Duryodhana, yourself having come first, and he having been seen by me first, I shall help both of you. Krishna Bhagavan, he is the supreme. You cannot cheat Krishna. You cannot trick Krishna. So, but the holy book continues, Krishna. Lay down that the younger persons should be aided first. Therefore, I should first assist Dhananjaya, the son of Prithu. See? Krishna is the supreme. There is that large army of the 100 million of Gopas who fight in battle, each of whom is capable of slaying me, Krishna says, about his warriors, and who are known as Narayanas. And then the verse which actually I took in Sanskrit as well, here too, but it's worth. Teva yudhi durad harsha bhavantvekasya sam sainikaha adhyut atman sam adhyatmata atyamanaha samgrame niyastash asra hamekata. Let them who are hard to vanquish in battle be the army of one party to you, and let myself, who shall not fight. Here is this, ayudhya manaha, I shall not fight. Having put off my weapons, niyastas shastro, take the side of the other. So, here Krishna gives his army to one of the warriors, cousins, and he gives himself to other. Of these two, O son of Pritam, choose anyone after your liking, for you have the right of choosing first. So here Krishna gives this option. Again, he's not imposing himself. He, God himself, just like at the end of Bhagavad Gita, he speaks the whole Bhagavad Gita, half an hour, 45 minutes he speaks. And then at the end he says, I told you everything. Now you do as you consider the best. So here you can see the repetition of the same mood. For you have a right of choosing first. Arjuna also could have taken, the huge troops, million of gopas who fight in battle, each of whom is capable of slaying me. Krishna, of course, it's impossible, but this is a figure of speech. Krishna is, just want to underline how powerful they are. So he gives this opportunity of choice to Arjuna. Dhananjaya, the son of Kunti, being thus spoken by Krishna, chose Keshava, who was not to fight in battle. That makes it very clear who is who. Who was Narayana himself, the destroyer of those who were not his friends, who had volunteered a birth among men, and who was superior to all the Kshatriyas, the gods and Danavas. And Duryodhana then chose the whole of that army. And, O son of Bharata, having got thousands upon thousands of warriors, and knowing that Krishna was lost to him, he became mightily pleased. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So, Duryodhana chooses the army. For him being a materialist, just as I mentioned in the beginning, you can have so many armies, you can have so much wealth, and honor, you can have so many beautiful women if you are into it. You can have so much and so much, but all that is lost with the end of the body. But Duryodhana didn't think like this. He became mightily pleased, and, O king, Duryodhana, having taken the whole army of fearful strength, came to the son of Rohini. Who is the son of Rohini? Balaram, who was of great strength, because, as I mentioned, they were actually very close friends. He submitted to him the whole cause of his coming, upon which the son of Sura said in reply to the son of Dhritarashtra, that's Balaram, O you, best among men, it is fitting that what was said by me at the time of marriage should be known to you. O you son of Kuru, for your sake did I speak, contradicting what Hrishikesh had said, Hrishikesh, Krishna. O king, again and again did I point out that our relations with both of you were equal, and what I said Keshava didn't accept. I cannot for a moment exist separated from Krishna. I am no helper of either son of Pritha or that of Duryodhana. Such is an unalterable resolution I have come to after the opinion formed by Krishna. So Balaram is just completely crushed by this situation. His emotion, and the whole topic was like original topic I wanted to talk in Bhagavad Gita, but this is also kind of leading towards Bhagavad Gita, leading to the point. So emotion, Balaram he's completely crushed because his best friend, he knows, Balaram is Krishna himself, he knows what will happen. But what can he do? Again, Krishna is not a Hitler. He is not forcing you. Whatever you do out of your own will. This is wonderful majesty of Krishna. But anyway, we continue. It's not too much. You are born in the race of Bharata, honored by all rules of the earth. O you best among men, go and fight in strict accordance with the rules of honor and those of military class. So, at least, because he knows that for Kshatriya to die in battle is just, well, the end is anyway there, and he will go to heavenly planets and enjoy like anything, and even after the birth, coming back, he will be well off. It's different perspective, though, our materialistic Kali Yuga point of view. We continue. Being thus addressed, he embraced him who used the plow as a weapon, Balaram again. And knowing that Krishna has gone over to the other side, he regarded as though victory has already been achieved in battle. So Duryodhana feels, yeah, I got it now. I nailed it. I will win. Anyway, that's the way of materialist. We are coming to the soon conclusion. The son of Dhritarashtra, himself a king, then went to Kritavarma, and Kritavarma gave him an army counting an Akshahini. You from India know what Akshahini is. I will speak about that in a second. The son of Kuru, surrounded by all those troops, which were terrible looking, went forward with a light heart, causing delight to his friends. He was very jolly. Duryodhana, having departed, the creator of the world, Janardana, with yellow robes on, said to the wearer of the crown, Arjuna, knowing that I shall not take any part in the battle, why have you chosen me? Arjuna said, there is no doubt that you can slay all of them, or foremost among men. I too, alone, am able to slay them all. And here we start. You see the Kshatriya. Shauryam Tejas. You can read in Bhagavad Gita, quality of Kshatriyas, strength, resourcefulness, and pride. He is also full of pride. Look at this. He is also self-assured. I will kill them all. This is an attitude of Kshatriya. No ill talks. So, I too alone am able to slay them all. In this word, you are an illustrious man, and I shall attain to eminence similar to yours by killing them single-handed. I too am a seeker after fame, and so will you be surrounded by me. It's how Yoga Maya is working. He's telling that to God himself. Arjuna, being covered about Krishna's real identity at that moment. So he will protect Krishna. Not Krishna will protect him. Krishna Rakshati. But he will protect Krishna. Wonderful, wonderful Kshatriyas. It has been my desire to have the office of a charioteer filled by you. And it's fitting that you should fulfill this desire, which has been felt by me for a long time. So he wanted actually Krishna's help and support. And then, it is fitting, O son of Pritha, that you measure yourself with me. I shall act as your charioteer, says Krishna. Let your desire be fulfilled. And then Vaishampayana said, sage Vaishampayana, being thus rendered glad, the son of Pritha, in company with Krishna and surrounded by the chief of Dasharata race, Dasharha race, came back to Yudhishthir. So that's the end of this Parva, Synod Yoga Parva. So, speaking of that, now we are coming to the troops. So the war is inevitable. Everything is divided. So So Krishna was trying hard. He negotiating. He was, going so many times as a messenger of peace, trying to make a compromise. It didn't work. So Krishna finally said that, look, to Kauravas, it's like this. Your cousins are Kshatriyas. They need to rule. Just give them something. Just a little village to each. You have so much land. You have such a huge kingdom. Just give him a little. They will be satisfied. They will rule over this village and everything will be fine. No, Duryodhana said, I will not give them even that much as can fit at the end of the needle. Even God cannot convince a fool. Anyway, so Krishna is striving for peace, but he supported both sides. And as we later see in the Virat Purusha chapter of Bhagavad Gita, they were all destined to die. They chose. It was their choosing. But it was a historical slant to it, just like Parashuram. Because when Kshatriyas becoming too powerful, they should be powerful. But when the power is unbridled by Brahmanas, the intelligent class, it leads to disaster. And you, especially from India, you know that Parashuram is incarnation of God himself. And he came and killed all the Kshatriyas 40 times. All of them. Because they were totally and completely uncontrolled. We know another example from Bhagavad Purana. Maharaj Venu. He came after Pandu and Maharaj Pandu, and he was a great ruler. The kingdom was totally infested by the rogues and thieves, and Maharaj Venu was so powerful. He was killing them left and right. And they were running away in such a speed that, as the scripture says, the dust from their feet was occluding the sun. That's how fast they were running from that kingdom. The problem is, again, as I show in this example, there is no Brahminical intelligence. There is a power, this strength, but no Brahminical intelligence. He doesn't know when to stop. So he started to harass the innocent people. And Brahmanas were coming to him and begging him to stop it, to treat everybody nicely. He maybe was, nodding his head, but he was still keeping what he was doing. So finally, as I said, the Brahmanas had to kill him, just like Parashuram also. They had to kill him by, as scripture says, high-sounding words. They didn't use a weapon. It's not a Brahminical thing, but by mantras. And they had to take the thankless task, because killing is, although there is a Vedic statement that even a saint is rejoicing when a snake or a scorpio is killed. But still, if you don't have to kill, don't do it. So Brahmanas had to take the different improper rule upon themselves here. Anyway, so that's relationship here. I mentioned Akshahini. So I took a reference of what Akshahini is. You from India probably already know it, but I will narrate it anyway. Akshahini is described in Mahabharata Adiparva as a battle formation consisting of 21,870 chariots, Ratha, 21,870 elephants, Gaja, 65,610 horses, Turaga or Ashva, and 109,350 infantry foot soldiers, Padati. So the smallest unit of that time was considered a pati, a squad, consisting of 1 elephant, 1 chariot, 3 horses, and 5 foot soldiers. Altogether 10 warriors. That was a like atomic unit of the war at that time. So it is mentioned in the Mahabharata that Pandava's army consisted of 7 Akshahini, which is 1,530,900 warriors. And the Kauravas army was 11 Akshahinis, 2,405,700 warriors. All in all. So it's totally over 4 million people came to fight on that battlefield of Kurukshetra. Over 4 million people. Imagine, it's a huge city. They were all killed. To jump ahead. Anyhow, that was an introduction. Facing all that situation, Arjuna, I will take again, because it's worth to repeat Arjuna's mood. There is no doubt that you, he addresses Arjuna, can slay all of them, or foremost among men. I too alone am able to slay them all. I shall attain the eminence similar to yours by killing them single-handed. So, nearly 3 million people Arjuna intended to kill single-handedly. That's quite tough. So, as we all know, here comes the moment. Kurukshetra field. Pandavas, Kauravas. Arjuna is asking Krishna, his charioteer, and God himself, please, drive me in the middle. I want to see. And, consider the rule of conduct. It was mentioned there, Balaram mentioned to Duryodhana that you should fight according to the rule of conduct of the war, properly. Then Balaram leaves. So Arjuna comes, he wants to see, setting the scene, the chapter 1 of Bhagavad Gita. And then he sees his close relatives, his grandfather, his dear grandfather, Bhishma Dev, on the other side. All the people who really mean anything to him. So he starts to, his determination, his Kshatriya determination starts to quickly fade. And then he goes through the emotions. The whole Bhagavad Gita is like a sutra, like a thread. Krishna mentions in the Bhagavad Gita, all the words are resting on me, like a pearls on a thread. But there is another thread of both Arjuna's and Krishna's emotion. And that's actually the topic I wanted to talk about specifically. All that was an introduction. But I thought it was necessary. Are we in a hurry? Okay. Then I will go in a, which was supposed to be the long narration, and I have maybe 10 pages, if not more. So, Arjuna's emotions are coming from his emotions are shifting. He is very despondent in the beginning. Oh, I have to kill my own relatives. Because, why? Because he was on a bodily level. He was considering himself to be the body, identifying himself with the body. But throughout Bhagavad Gita, Krishna instructs him that, starting from the 2nd chapter, which is a content of Gita summarized, everything is laid there and expanded in the consequent chapters. So, the moods of Arjuna: despondency to clarity, doubt, faith, attachment, detachment, and ignorance, wisdom. In the beginning, Arjuna is displaying ignorance. And Krishna, and I will speak of Krishna anyway, I take a little liberty. You just cannot, it's too precious to go without. There are also Krishna's emotions. That's Arjuna's emotions, but there are Krishna's emotions. So Krishna guides Arjuna through all these troubles, for all these psychological tribulations, and he addresses it. Vishada is a beginner, despondency. So I have made all it. I wanted to give a specific verses on each of these points, but we'll make it short. He forgot his Kshatriya Dharma, and Krishna reminds Arjuna about it. So his symptoms: anxiety, trembling, tears, loss of strength, and despair. So he's physically not well. So Krishna responds. Krishna is not forcing, again, you should just wise up and stand and fight. He says that, but not in direct fashion. When Arjuna displays this weakness, Krishna is, the language he is using, it's completely wonderful. He's mocking him, he's jesting him, he's really getting at his nerves. But anyway, but Krishna is not stopping him. Krishna listens carefully and allows Arjuna to talk his heart. It's something what we should also take as a lesson, that when somebody is telling something important to you, don't rush. Keep your mouth closed. Listen. You might understand something. So anyway, so Krishna is kind of silent in a certain sense, but he is ready to dispel the ignorance. Then the second part of Arjuna's situation, Sharanagati, is a surrender. So Arjuna understands his situation. He throws his bow, Gandiva, and surrenders to Krishna, seeking guidance as his disciple. Shishyasteham. I'm confused by my duty and afflicted a weakness. I'm your disciple. Please instruct me. And Krishna starts his instructions at that point. Here comes the 2nd chapter. Then Arjuna wakes to true knowledge. It's a jnana, intellectual pursuit. So Krishna speaks about what? Immortality of the soul, birth and death. The only transformations are of the physical body. And so it's the 2nd chapter mostly. The soul, Atman, cannot be killed. Death is inevitable. Therefore, grieving is futile. And duty, dharma, must be followed without attachment to result. Very important point. Then 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita is Karma Yoga, action without attachment. So Arjuna slowly regains his knowledge, composure. And Krishna instructs him on karma yoga, acting without attachment to the fruits of action. Perform duty without selfish motives. Be detached. And equanimity, samatvam, leads to liberation. Here, Krishna first, as I mentioned in the beginning, there is no bhakti directly through the most of Bhagavad Gita. But it comes to that point. So now, samshaya, skepticism. Arjuna is listening to Krishna and expresses his doubts, because he says that like yogic path is not for me. First of all, I'm a kshatriya. Second, what is this? It's so difficult. So it's a confusion about jnana yoga and karma yoga. He is not sure, should he renounce action or perform what he should do as a superior. So Krishna clarifies this selfless action, nishkarma karma, as the ideal path of Arjuna. Because if he renounced his duties of the kshatriya, he will be a hypocrite. Devotion of faith. Here it comes, bhakti, surrender to Lord. So Arjuna, his doubts are eliminated. So then only Krishna reveals bhakti yoga, the path of loving devotion. So, sarva dharman parityaja, mam ekam sharanam raja. Mam ekam sharana. Sharanam is a heaven, is a place of solace. So, aham tvam sarva papebhyo. I will protect you from all the varieties of sin. Sarva papebhyo. Mokshishyami masuchaha. And then in Sanskrit there is two ways of negation. Na, which is just to say no, and ma. And ma is very definite. It's absolutely not. Masuchaha, says Krishna. Do not fear. Meanwhile, he was shown Vishvarupa Darshana, giving Vishvarupa Darshana universal form, and so on and so on. And then determination and readiness, stita pragya, steady mind, which is achieved as a result of devotional service, actually. Now, that was Arjuna's line of thought. Now, I need to say, don't look that we need to go home. I need to say that Krishna is a supreme teacher. His attitudes, Krishna's attitudes, are insightful teacher, divine protector, a philosopher, a friend, and finally himself. All divine supreme being. So he is empathetic, listening to Arjuna's grief. He is very stern. He is telling, what is this unbecoming behavior? Well, he says to Arjuna in a very straightforward fashion. He is very logical because he explains it as 1, 2, 3, 4. If it's this, then it's that, and so and so. He is encouraging Arjuna to take action. He is reassuring him, just as I said, it's masuchaha, his assurance, absolute assurance. He is loving, because what he does it's all out of love. And then he is detached, because Krishna, God himself, he is completely detached. He took the position of a charioteer. It's a Shudra position, Suta, strictly speaking. It's, kind of Shudra. It's a mix between Kshatriyas and Brahmanas, if I remember it correctly. So it's not a high rank. It's a mixed race. So it helps through. I probably would need another hour to continue that. But we'll end here at the moment. If you have any questions or comments, and I will try to ask.
What is the dharma for everybody?
What specifically? What do you mean? Arjuna's dharma is for everybody? No, it's not. Bhakti is dharma for everybody.
So we don't need to go kill people.
No, you don't have to kill people. You shouldn't kill people. It's punishable by the law of the land. But what you should do is, again, we are in line of Lord Chaitanya, the latest incarnation of God. And when Nityananda, he was attacked by the rogues, by the miscreants, Jagai and Madai, and they threw the pot in his face and smashed, and blood was oozing. And then Lord Chaitanya, just for 1 second, he forgot himself. He yelled, "Chakra, chakra!" because he was just about to kill all these miscreants. But Lord Nityananda, while bleeding, he stops him. "Please, please, please, your incarnation is to give mercy, not to kill. It was enough killing in the past ages. Now, in Kali Yuga, please save them." Which, of course, Lord Chaitanya did. They became devotees. So, just like our hearts, our rogue-like hearts, which think only about ourselves, can only be saved by Lord Chaitanya's mercy. So it's how it's manifest in chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And it's said in Kali Santara and Upanishad, Kalau na asti eva, na asti eva, na asti eva, gatir anyatha. There is no other way, gatir anyatha. Gati is a aim. So there is no other in the age of Kali. We have no brains, we have no strength. We have no longevity. We have hardly anything left because there are 4 yugas, and this is a iron age. This is the worst part of it. But we are happy. First, Lord Chaitanya came only less than 600 years ago. Historically, it's next to nothing. He's, our historical personality. And it is said that there is a golden age of Kali Yuga, 5,000 years up, 5,000 years down. So we have this golden opportunity. So, anybody else?
So this dharma is only Arjuna. He needs to fight war. It's not.
That was his. He's a kshatriya. He's a warrior.
We don't need to join the army.
That was, to start with, it was 5,000 years ago.
It's not asking us to join the army.
You should read the whole Mahabharata to understand the intricacies. I touched briefly in the beginning that it's a complicated story there. And it's a very difficult situation for Arjuna. Arjuna, he is his grandfather. He has to fight with kill his grandfather, who he loved. What about that? It's not a funny situation. So confusion of Arjuna is more.
We have Kali Yuga here in this world right now. We are always Kali Yuga. There's always wars.
Yeah.
Spiritual world against atheists. So it is war all the time. So we are so happy we are so dumb that we can just chant Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
And it is so wonderful.
It is said that elsewhere that in Satya Yuga, demons and devotees and gods are living in different universes. In Treta Yuga, it is said that they are living within the same universe but on different planets. In the Dvapara Yuga, they live on the same planet but in different states. But in Kali Yuga, the demons and the devotees are living within the same body, within the heart. So our heart. So this is where the Kurukshetra battle is going on every day. If you are aware of that, you might not. You might live as an animal. And there is a unpleasant statement in Vedas about that. Dvipada pashu. Two-legged animal. Animals has 4 legs. We have 2. But so do the chicken. So a person who is not striving for the spiritual advancement is considered to be a dvipada pashu. So please don't. There is a chance for all of us. We have this chance by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, Krishna himself to start with, Lord Chaitanya as his direct incarnation, all the parampara which we have there, and last but absolutely not least, Srila Prabhupada. If Srila Prabhupada wouldn't be here, he wouldn't take a trouble at an advanced age to travel to the West, we wouldn't be sitting here. We owe him a huge debt.
We owe him our lives.
Yes, all our spiritual life.
Yeah.
So that's how it is. And some people are picking, oh, Srila Prabhupada didn't do this, he didn't do that, this was fault, this was fault. Yeah, maybe. There was some material hang-ups. Like, for example, I can give a specific example. He was giving sannyas to his disciples, more or less like, oh, you become a sannyasi, you go and preach. And to be very careful to say not too many of them are left around, not in the physical body, but in the movement. Because they left their sannyasa vows, they left the ISKCON movement, they went into the material world. So is it fault of Srila Prabhupada? No, because he had to preach, he had to spread this movement. In every town, like Lord Chaitanya said, Nagaradi Grama, in every town and village, the holy name should be chanted. The God should be worshipped. And he just had to. This is like another example. Once his disciple came and said, oh, I want to divorce my wife. Srila Prabhupada tried to talk to him. Don't do that. But he said, okay, go and divorce her. And then that day, or day before, Srila Prabhupada was giving a lecture how the sacred marriage, how it is important to stay together, how help each other, develop together. So his disciples became completely confused. They're coming, knocking on the door and saying, Srila Prabhupada, why, you just, today or yesterday you said that divorce is unthinkable, and now you just like that, offhand, you gave your permission. He said, look, Srila Prabhupada answered, this man already decided that he will divorce this woman. If I would tell him no, and he would do it anyway, that would be a direct offense by not listening to his guru. Out of 2 wrongs, I simply picked the smallest one. It's just an illustration how difficult, how sensitive the whole matter is. So we must take, like another scriptural comparison, is that the moon is shining and giving a, the softening rays of moon, giving a pleasant chill and giving a taste to the vegetables and herbs. But there are spots on the moon. But we shouldn't consider the spots. We should consider the moonshine, the softening rays of the moon. So just like this, it depends. There is another more mundane saying, the bees are flying to honey, and the flies, they are flying everywhere. So let us be like bees. Let us always look for the honey, in whatever situation we are, because it's always something good there. And if there is nothing good, at least we have a chanting of the holy name. You can chant in an open, overt fashion as a kirtan, or you can have your japa in your mind. This is also japa. Namacharya Haridas Thakur, he was chanting many hundred thousands of rounds, but some he was chanting aloud, some he was chanting within himself. So this is also, you can always think of Krishna. This is your right. Nobody can remove it from you. Any more questions? Okay, and then we thank you for patient listening. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. We all know Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna.
Jai Radhe.